Got ourselves, team one over with Blackwell. We got ourselves Scrim. We got ourselves Excalibur. Gonna be first up and running versus Hockey back in there as our Herald druid. Immediate wall out of Excalibur. Saki just absolutely rampaging through him. Excalibur just trying to see if they can continue the pressure onto Hockey, but it's gonna take a lot of damage. Maybe looking at a potential bubble here, but at the very least, he's got immunity to deal with the blades. Immediate wall out of Hockey as they're starting to take a little bit of damage. Excalibur trying to stay on Hockey as best as possible, is playing into Herald of the Sun. Definitely needs to get a down light dot onto Hockey. Is going to be a trinket. Blind to follow into a searing. You still not bled up, so you got to be very, very careful. But you definitely got to get a dot onto Hockey in order to keep the pressure, because this way he can't ever catch almost ever catch a reset, man. Almost ever. Thunder Fury. Oh yeah, I guess there's also Thunder Fury too. No, you're right. No, you're right. No, yeah, Thunder Fury will do it too. Oh, and he's trying to heal himself while bleeds are up now. Start onto Hockey though. This could potentially be a good go. Got yourself the dots as long as you keep the pressure rolling. Lay on hands as Hockey actually could be under a lot of trouble. You've done so far to the wild, trying to go for big incarn. Could be a bubble situation on Excalibur, trying to hold on to it as best as possible. Hockey's super, super low though. Does get the blades. Hold on, you may still need to bubble. Does bubble. Oh, but Hockey was able to at least get a lot out of the Paladina. With Madara gonna be up next, I think Excalibur may have to play super defensive. You do have a Bob that can help you with some of the pets of Madara. Some of them do physical damage, but it's gonna be rough. Stun around the corner. You are, I think, gonna have to play the long game and keep the dot rolling onto Madara. Just CCing the pets. As long as it looks like you got a dot on the wait, you got a dot onto one of the gimps? Wait, no, now you got it on Madara. There we go. I was gonna say for a second. Fear Madara. Yeah, getting up close and melee with this guy is going to be tough, especially since he's going to fear you to absolute Guam. Sends you all the way out to Egypt. You're going to be caught in the Bermuda Triangle and get stuck there eternally. As he got himself a little bit of a shielding. Try to see if he can get himself a setup. Wake of Ashes to get it down to Madara, but he locks it down with the axe toss together with the knockdown. You do have a Bob for these stunts. You do have a Bob for these physical damage attacks. Searing Glare, that's going to help with the demons. That's actually huge. Does he see all those pets for a second? Maybe a kick. Does go for the blind, but Savage to play it super, super slow. Instead, first aid does get some value behind the pillar. Pest can reach. Oh, but then Brock and Doom does spawn in. And Doom guard. And that's not going to feel great at all. Unless you got yourself wings that can maybe go for a bit of healing. Yeah, that pet, not going to feel great. So you got to find a way to line aside that and Madara at the same time. You just have to manage not only the Warlock, but also his entire demonic army. Bob, to try to see if you can break out of that CC. You do have a bit of damage from Madara, potentially. Fear, trinkets out of it. Dresstalker does get disrupted. Hold on, Excalibur does take it. Oh, it does pick it up as an Overlord was coming in from the right-hand side. That's exactly what you needed with that matchup. Exactly what you needed. It's definitely working out a lot better. Wait, hold on. Hello? Is Flax DC'd? Or is it just the cat running into a wall? Might be DC'd. Hold on, give him a second. Hold on, I think it's DC'd. You might give, okay, just give him a second. If he is DC'd for too long, maybe we can have like cute Druid or Conan go next, yeah? Potentially. Excalibur though, doing work, man. Look at that pally. That is a good pally set, man. Those shoulders, together with the chest piece, the rest of the set. I like what you were trying to go with, man. I like what you were trying to go with, the whole red, black and golden embroidered look and everything. Yeah, it looks like he's DC'd, so we're just gonna get cute Druid next. Yeah, we're just gonna have to have him go next after. Aragorn is Andoril? I think it is. It's been a second. It might be Andoril, but at least you know what I'm talking about, right? I don't know exactly the name. It's gonna be Excalibur trying to get some damage. Actually, quite a lot of damage to cute Druid. When there's a Wake of Ashes and the dot. Hold on a second. Wait a second. Excalibur. He's got better rock damage than a Pharaoh Druid right now. What is happening? Fuel Incarn into a bar skin. Does not have a bubble. Maybe a lay on hands hid in the back pocket, but I'm not 100% here. Try to see if you can just live this. Do you have the lay on hands? Does get the lay. You gotta get yourself a lockdown in the cat. Does go for Searing Glare. Q Druid can't really respond. As you try to see if you catch up, bubble in 12 seconds. You just try to sit down for whatever food you can. Stun. Oh, the bubble. Please. No. Q-Druid, does he take it? Meme. Hold on. I think it's a perfect lockdown. Barely alive. Trying to heal himself as best as possible. Bubble very soon. May just have to bubble. Just barely alive though. That Dawnlight and the Herald keeping him alive. Got himself a bit of damage versus Kindred. Trying not to cleave down onto Flex if possible. Cute with a big bite. Does the Paladin take it? He does still have a bubble. Does he need to burn it? He does not need to burn it with Conan charging out. Charges in. Quick stun, but it actually super DR'd as Excalibur trying to live this as best as possible. Trying to deny giving out a bubble that easily. Trinket to follow just to walk away from Conan. Got himself a bit of that range damage, but also a little bit of self-heals. Just to find a way to weave past him, maybe with the Hand of Freedom, using a defensive stun into a Searing Glare just to keep himself alive a little bit longer. Full wings up and available, throwing hammers at Conan. Man does have himself a lot of offensive power, but trying to hold on to defenses until the right moment. Excalibur still has a bubble. The question is though, does Conan have a shatter in order to break the bubble? Trades a blind with a stun. Conan not really looking that great health wise. As long as Excalibur doesn't put a dot on him, Conan could actually get a lot of second wind action, and that was a big enrage regen. Big first aid for Excalibur. Conan could also go for a first aid, I think, too. But a Wake of Ashes, I think it is Excalibur trying to see if he can whittle you down. Conan is going to have to stay up on melee as best as possible, try to catch a Bloodthirster or two. And he is the last man standing because looks like Flex completely, fully DC'd into a Reflect by Conan. Does Excalibur have anything here? Bubble's still available technically, so you should be okay. My question is, does Conan randomly sneak up some random damage on you? Do you have that shatter? Does he have a shatter? I think it's over, right? No. I don't think he does. We're not sure what happened to my man Flex, but Excalibur does pull off a 4-0. Well done, dude. The Feral Druids in particular, the fact that you're able to turn around on these cats is kind of wild to me. Who is it? Is it Jonas or is it Krim? No, it's Blackwell versus Buffrogue. Hey, my guy. Hey, dude, this man last week popped off on that Outlaw, man. Absolutely decimating. Big killing spree. Blackwell taking a ton of damage from that thing with Buffrogue looking to back up out of there, grapple it back in. But if you're playing that Fade-bound Outlaw Rogue, you should be able to zoom right back in anytime you want to, or zoom out of it anytime you want to. Does go for a disarm versus Blackwell, who's got himself quite a bit of damage though. The Spencer did quite a bit of work towards the Rogue. Clock of Shadows, Blackwell trying to see if he can keep himself alive as best as possible. Buffrogue got so many pistols, so much damage. Blackwell forced to play super defensive, but Rogue does go in for the last little gap, last little pow. Man, taking him out with Horde Body gonna be up next, man. Outlaw Rogue is all physical damage. So you would think against a Death Knight who's clad in iron plates would take probably the least amount of damage there, but apparently Death Knights still take a ton from Outlaw. It's kind of the one plate class that actually takes any damage from Outlaw right now. I guess the spec also does have a lot more consistent damage ever since 1105, so that's huge. Does go for the IBF. Banya trying to see if he can tank up. It's going to be grapple out for Buffrogue. Cena tricking out of Banya, trying to see if he can go for a counter. Does end up going for a quick reset. Cheap shot right after. Was it the yard? That was the yard. Killing spree immediately. Got himself a big potential to go. Does have the pet stone. Grippy hand with a blind together with maybe damage, maybe a stun. Or does he? I guess he already stunned with a pet, doesn't he? I don't know if he has strangling. Buffrogue taking a ton of damage to hold on. Oh, and the Rogue does get cleaved down. Banya just had to come out there with a full set of all of his pets. The entire army of the undeads. The Riders of the Apocalypse, and just kept on trucking, letting those pets do work with Banya. Going to be up versus Conan now. And Conan should be able to clean it up very, very quickly though. Does end up taking it with Grim, trying to see if he can get himself a proper setup. Arcane Surge off the Poly. Got himself a perfect potential damage here. As long as he can get away from Conan and get a couple of casts without being interrupted. Got himself a perfect Ultra Conan with a Blaze Storm. Can still interrupt all Blaze Storm. And Grim needs to be very, very careful with his health. Conan got himself plenty of defense for the max amount of damage with a fat Reflect versus Grim. As he finally does get to back away for a second. Why he can kite Conan, he'll be perfectly fine. Fear does have Ice Block. I think what he wanted to do is shrink it, potentially just go do some. Maybe that was a misplay with the Trinket Ice Block. Possibly. Maybe he meant to press one, but not the other. I got a group listed. All right, Boris. So we got another group if you guys want to join it over in LFG, over under Raids Legacy. As Conan trying to see if he can back up out of the Crim. I don't know if you can get some kind of a dot on the guy, or like constantly damage to his health bar. I guess you do have a familiar with you, the bird, the raven. That thing will hit Conan through walls, and I think will deny him second wind healing. But for Krim, it's going to take a little bit of a setup before he can get himself another big go as Arcane. got himself missiles. He needs to get himself a little bit of cooldown reduction. Does get himself a position with massive invocations and potentially lots of damage here. Touching the magic and everything is up. Versus Conan, got himself a bunch of missiles flying in. Maybe if he can just combine a couple of arcane blasts, maybe a big barrage around the corner. Conan's taking a little bit of damage, got himself a bit of a shield. As Scrim putting himself out in the open, does give Conan an opportunity to get a charge and a heal. Reflect, Arcane Surge, I think, does get to deny it, possibly. Something reflected, I'm not even sure what. I honestly think the familiar is probably what got reflected back towards Scrim. Got himself the most amount of damage right now. As long as he can just keep the pressure on Conan, yeah! Once he gets just a full burst, a full array of missiles, it's enough to take the man from about half his health down to 0. But with Cute Druid walking at you, does not get to go for a proper opener with a stun. Still bleeds are going to be up. But for Krim, this is where you really wish you had an Ice Buck, though. I guess the Herald Druid in particular. Yeah, Cute, trying to see if he can land that cute little Ursos on ya. But it's just not quite there, not quite connecting with Krim being able to go for a reverse blink to reposition out of it. My goodness. Cute Druid trying to see if he can get himself a better just a reset. Krim does have food. You just need to find a way to get Cute Druid out of stealth, though. Shifting power is going to help a ton. Does just go for Moonfire. Not the worst. Honestly, keeping a Feral out in the open, not the worst. Moonfire is not going to feel great, especially if he's playing super dot build, which most Ferals do nowadays. But yeah, does see him. Breath does have a trinket, doesn't burn it just yet. Nova to follow. Does he have a proper setup? As long as he can keep him potentially, I don't know if he can force him into like bear form. I guess he would just need to go for big cooldowns. Does get himself ultra, touches the magic into Cute. Does have himself a bar skin with Krim able to recover a little bit of the blade damage, but those dots continue to burn him down little by little. I don't know if he has much here to really live the dot damage. He does have a trinket, has himself blinks to get out of stuns, does go for a trinket here. Blink is available, got himself a little bit of survivability. He has himself technically a lot of burst damage. He just needs to combine it together with all the other buffs. But I don't know if you can do it with a Feral constantly pressuring you like that. Yeah, as soon as he got the big bite on all those beasts together, it is over. It is out. Jonah's gonna be up next. Got himself the Shadow Strike. Oh, Shadow Strikes. Ambushes instead as an Outlaw Rogue. Main does go for the kidney into a potentially kill spree. I was just waiting for a kill spree the entire time. Kill spree is hard, man. Ever since they did some changes with the supercharger, kill spree now hits really hard, especially if you go for reroll, supercharger, killing spree, and all the buffs. Maybe on you trinket, maybe a ghost strike, and kidney shot where the enemy takes 5% more damage. All of those things stack up, but that's just a ton of damage in a short window. It is a lot of damage. Q does get himself walled together with Barskin, trying to see if he can bleed onto Jonas, who does go for the wall. Bite right after, still bleeding out. I think the cloak did not remove all those blades, or maybe got reapplied. As soon as the cloak went out, big killing spree, can't even see the rogue. I mean, I'm struggling to see where the guy is at. Ambushes back to back, but he does take it. But the blades do take him in return. The Outlaw Rogue discontinued to truck the damage until the very bitter end, and that's exactly how you take out a competitor, man. If anything, at least you took one out, right? Haki is going to be up next versus Excalibur. Bled up insta, 32% dampening. All that Herald of the Sun healing is going to be out of the window. Not going to feel that great. Haki having to go for wall here immediately. I think still has Bark Skin. Unless Bark Skin is one of the cities that's not tracked super well. I don't think it's tracked on UI really well. Excalibur does get a random proc of dots and a proc of wings. This potentially could be huge. That's a lot of Dawnlight damage for Haki. That's something he has to heal for. He won't be able to catch himself an easy reset behind the pillar. Does get himself even more dot damage around the corner. If Excalibur could just maximize the dot damage of a Red Pala, if it's playing the proper dot build, which probably is, I'm assuming this is Herald of the Sun. Actually, Ursos, maybe reposition? No, it slows you. Does get himself restun. Trinket immediately for Excalibur into a stun to Haki. No trinket available. Does he just take it right here? The Paladin damage, hold on. I think, yeah, it's just over. The Paladin damage, man. We got ourselves the last one, Madara, over on the team to as a Demonology Warlock. As long as he can force out a bubble out of Excalibur, the bot is going to help a little, but should be able to have a much easier time to deal with it overall, though. As he got himself a little bit of damage around the corner. As long as you send the pets in, I keep swapping to wrong people, but as long as you send the pets in, you should be just fine. Searing Glare, the pets are gonna get CC'd for a second. Apparently not the Falcar though. Apparently Falcar still can stun, it just does not care. Is that what's happening? I don't understand this. Does get him some demonic tyrant together with all the pets. Everything is up together with an overlord. As long as the overlord does not miss, it'll be perfectly fine. It's starting to hit. It's trying to hit. Does finally connect with a stun on Madara. All the pets are dotted. A little bit of healing up for Excalibur. Does have his soul ripped out of his body. Not healing. He's not able to heal himself super well or do too much damage. He's just not as effective as he can be. Big Lay on Hands does help him fully recover. That ignores any healing suppression effect, but still a ton of damage barreling down on the Paladin. Moderate is going to have to use mobility to get it out of there as soon as possible. He got him so close. Does force a bubble. This is where the Paladin, the Warlock needs to run. Needs to run and take the gate. Just get out of there. Get out of there scot-free, because that is one last defensive for Excalibur. Axtos, you could get yourself a proper lockdown with Fears. Hold on. The stun trade, but you still got to make sure the pets are on him, because the pets could actually maul him behind the pillar. I think the pets would just take him. Moderate just needs to live. He does have a fear coming up very soon. Use the fear. Use the fear. Oh, no. It's so close. Oh, you're playing with fire. Oh. I saw you demon ball that fear. I was like, you're playing with fire. That thing could break any moment. The Pally doesn't. I'm taking it. Oh, my goodness. All right, boys. Let's see if we get us another going. Let's see if we get another one in here. Sniper as well as Conan or Boris. Let me know when you guys are ready. We'll get another one going, yeah?